when I was in Vegas, I was an official selection for, it said Cannes World Film Festival or something like that. And I thought, oh my gosh, I just got into Cannes. This is amazing. I kind of like started to have a panic attack about it. I'm like, whoa, suddenly we're being heard now. What does this mean? Am I going to have my career back? Like, Cannes, I can't even imagine what that's going to entail. I called my mom, I mentioned it to her, and then I called my wife and I mentioned it to her, and then I went back to my laptop in the conference room and was just sitting there sort of panicking. And then I read the fine print, and it goes, not associated with Festival de Cannes. It's a different festival in Cannes. And I'm like, son of a... So I went through this like crushing like disappointment. I had to go back to my mom and my wife, and I was like, okay, don't buy the new furniture yet, honey. We're... and if you think about that feeling of disappointment, consider it at an exponential scale. You're a medical doctor, and your family and everyone you know has been constantly barraging you for information, and finally we got this vaccine that was a cure that was going to get us out of this COVID disaster. Praise Lord, we're going to get it. We're all going to be happy, and we're going to get past this. And then these people are bombarded with messaging constantly. Safe and effective, safe and effective, safe and effective, 100% effective. You've got Lord Fauci on screen telling you how good everything is. And as part of this system, they had, like I said, public good projects, these hired thugs designed to shut down any doctors that spoke out, silence any dissent. So it was a 100% wall of propaganda that most people, me excluded apparently, were incapable of resisting. And now you're going to go to that person and tell them, by the way, your salvation is a lie. Mm-hmm. And then the shock of it, and not only is it a lie, but now you have to be afraid about what you've done to you, your family, and everyone you know by supporting this. I mean, especially with doctors, like doctors' egos are fragile in a lot of ways, and it's wrapped around this incredible debt that they've put themselves in to get this thing. They spend half their lives paying off this debt for the medical degree. And if they're in a hospital system, their livelihood is wrapped around doing what the hospital system tells them. So you try to penetrate this incredibly thick wall with the truth, even if you're right and they know it, they still can't accept it.
I think you hit it, John, with it, which is they know they took it and they're scared. And what have they done? The people who got it, and then the doctors, I've given this and recommended it to people, and their livelihood. That's the big problem we're dealing with.
You know, how can a doctor who's gone through all of what I just described about face and go to his patients and go, I was wrong. Mm-hmm. And I try to do this in my film. I try to show, like, look, I was wrong. I had to change course. You can do it too. It's okay to be wrong and admit it.
Yeah,
but the longer we go,
and people don't like to do it. The more they're dug in, the harder it is to change.
And then you go to halfway down that path, and then if a person hates Trump,
even worse.
Now they're going to go back to zero. It's like Monopoly, you know?
Yeah, and it's really bad these days.